Mic check 1 2 1 2. 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 We're in the building right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Check 1 2 1 2. You are now in the building with Coach K, and this is the Hustler's Journal podcast.
Mic check 1 2 1 2, ladies and gentlemen. You're now in the building with your boy Coach K, and this is the Hustler's Journal, season 2, episode number 17. At this point in time, we check in with people to make sure that they are good. I always got to make sure I check in with my family, make sure they're good. Call my boys and make sure they're good. Call my clients, make sure they're good. Call my teammates, make sure that they're good. Make sure that everybody is good. And I'm here, the guy on my screen right now who is busy cutting up vegetables because he's trying to stay lean and healthy. He's been running for the past, was it day 4 now? Day 5?
No, bro, I'm on today was day 6, bro. Tomorrow, day 7.
This guy's on day 6 now of a 30-day run challenge he set up for himself. He did 30-day squats before, and he's continuing to keep things moving. He's doing things for his own mental health and for the mental health and wellness of other people. He continues to move and vibe within the community, strengthening people through his words, through his actions, through his energy. I've always been a fan of his and his effort. I remember I still go back to the same time, first time I ever saw him in the gym doing muscle ups, and I'm like, who is this dude? And what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on out here? I leave for like 2 seconds, and the next man comes through, and it's whatever. But he's always shown me love and respect. He's always shown me that he's a diligent dude, a hard worker, puts his head down, gets to the grind, gets to the hustle, wakes up 4 a.m. and gets you motivated to want to wake up at 4 a.m. as well. But you realize that you can't be at the club, party until 3 to have to get up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym. It doesn't work like that. But now that we are in COVID, we are in lockdown, we are actually under curfew at this very moment. There's no way for you guys to be getting to club. So you definitely have time to get to bed, wake up, get some stretching in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and make your day happen and make your day start with my guy on the screen right now, J. John Paul, the owner of 2 locations of gyms out here in Montreal, in Lachine, and also in the West Island. Make sure that you check him out on Instagram. He's the only guy I've had on this show 4 times. Check this out. 2 episodes of the Daily Hustle where we did an interview. We did an interview outside in the wind, and my camera stand almost fell over. We did the other one where we were inside of your new spot while you're getting things cleaned up. We were talking about mental health. Then we had another touchdown. I came through the Lachine spot. We sat down, we talked, we chopped it up about how you were progressing, how you were growing. And now things have definitely changed. We're getting you back in here again to make sure that we check in, to make sure that you are doing well. So my guy, J. John Paul, welcome to the show again. What's up, bro?
God bless. Thank you. Everything's good. How about you, baby?
Well, we out here. We're living, man. Anyways, we're here to talk to the dude, the man, the legend of the hour. Jay, listen, you've obviously had a lot of obstacles to overcome. You've been hit with a lot of challenges in your life. We don't really want to talk about the past. We want to talk about what's been happening for you over the past year, how you've been able to overcome some stuff. We just had a brief conversation, brief exchange to just kind of break down how things have been going for you. But one of the biggest changes for you is that you have a beautiful daughter who will be walking in about a week or so. She might even be
4 days, bro.
she might even be dunking soon. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But break it down, brother. The biggest question I always ask: how are you? Be genuine about it. Be real. I know you're gonna be honest about it. So how have you been?
I've been good, bro. Fatherhood's been a blessing, bro. It's been a blessing. That's like, I think that's the highlight of my life right now. That's the highlight of COVID right now.
Okay, for a person who has had to overcome a lot of, mental battles and challenges and struggles, you still remain on your feet. Although you kind of went 0 dark 30 for a bit, probably had some people concerned. You picked up the camera, started doing some little camera work here and there. We saw a little artistry that you had going on out there, adding another Instagram profile to your whole ensemble. You've been experiencing, so many different changes. You've garnered partnerships. You've garnered a lot of people wanting to work with you. A lot of people wanted to reach out to you to see how you've been doing. How are you able to manage all that amidst all of this crisis that we're kind of going through right now?
Bro, honestly, I can't even tell you. It's been a roller coaster, but at the end of the day, it's like, I think what helps me accomplish each task or even achieve or attract each thing is just the fact that I have my daughter. Like, I'm not living for myself no more, right?
Yeah. So
it's like, no matter how deep I am in a slump, or no matter how high I am on the clouds, it's like, at the end of the day, the purpose is way stronger, right? 2019, I was alone. There was not much to really, and I was still able to get done. But I mean, it's I call it the summer power, bro. Summer magic. She's literally the force behind everything. So she's been attracting an abundance in my life, of prosperity, of love, of joy. And at the same time, it's like when I'm at my low, right? So when I'm at my lowest, I look forward to that day because she'll bring me back on my feet, right? So it's like it never lasts too long, these slumps. So I managed to do what I need to do, right?
And obviously, you still maintain your connection with your team. They're still making things happen. My guy Kadeem, aka Louis V, making things happen out here. He's dropping exercise videos, doing different tips. He's doing different things for a guy who has lupus. He's still making a difference out here in the community. So shout out to him as well, and your whole team as well, Maria. You got some other people on the squad as well. We haven't seen in a bit, but they're making sure they're getting things done and doing their thing as well, which is amazing. Definitely demonstrating how you lead by example with that. Now, what made you decide to do 30 days of squats? Because I know that we all understand that when you do a simple movement like a squat and do variations to it, it definitely can build your body in more ways than one. What made you decide to go, you know what, I'm gonna do 30 days of squats and now I'm gonna hit 30 days of running? Like, where was the firepower behind that?
Bro, honestly, like everyone else, I think everybody's been going through it. COVID just really hit my self-esteem. So it's like I got these two gyms, like the way you're introducing me, the guy, the legend, two gyms, the this, that. I didn't see that. And now I see it again, and I see my force and my resilience and whatever. But honestly, I needed it. Like, that's the thing with me. It's like whenever I feel low or I feel like everything is crushing down, I feel like I need to put myself through something difficult and isolate myself through a difficult task. So every time you see me come up with these challenges, whatever, it's because I'm trying to get out of something. I'm trying to fight something. So the 30 days of squatting, at first it's something I just came up with. I was talking to Maria actually, and I was like, hey, let's do squatting. Let's just try to like adapt to the situation and become these online trainers, right? Because that's what it is now, right? These virtual trainers. So I'm like, let's just try to create a hype and just do these 30 days of squatting. And eventually I was fighting a lot of demons when it comes to like family and like, COVID, it's like it forced us to stop moving. So now everything you've been repressing with work, with activities, with going out, with whatever is now coming all up. Things that you never knew you had to deal with. And that's when the 30 days of squatting actually became something for my mental health, something that I needed to do to prove to myself that I could fight any weight that's bringing me down, right? So squatting is the perfect analogy. And especially that your central nervous system, after 5 consecutive days of squatting, your central nervous system is not having any fun. Yeah. So it's like, I wanted to also prove to myself that I am above average and I could beat this whole science of, okay, you're going to overtrain. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that, because sharpest tool in the toolbox, right? So it was just really to get out of a slump, because COVID just, like I said, it hit my self-esteem. It took away my gyms. It took away the community I've built, and it took away basically everything that made me me. And that's when I knew I had an issue also. I revolved my identity around my business. Right. So it's like I had to take a break and be like, who am I truly? You even saw I had the braids at one point, bro. I was trying to figure things out. I let the hair grow out. I started getting braided. I tapped into like photography, different things. I was just trying to figure myself out because, like I said, COVID forced us to stop. And it's like COVID sat me down and said, you can't move anymore, boy. You got to stay here. It's like I had to figure out, what have I been dealing with? What have I been hiding? Do I seek validation? Do I seek confrontation? Like everything. Everything was a huge question mark. And the only way I knew how to get back on my feet and find my true self is going back to what saved my life, which was fitness, lifting, squatting. Like back in 2013, when I got out of jail, I won't go to the past too much, but that was what saved me, right? That's what gave me a career. That's what made me believe that I wasn't going to be a guy working in a warehouse for the rest of my life. I could actually build a business off what I love. So I had to go back to what I love and put myself through a difficult situation. Like I remember when I was younger and I would train, it's like, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you. You would just push and push and push and push. And it's like, as you grow older and you go to the gym, you actually just do what needs to be done, right? Right. But then when I found myself in a deeper spot to that mentality of just going hard to find myself and to heal myself. So 30 days of squatting just seemed like the best thing to do, right? So that's basically it, man. So these challenges are always just to, I read a lot about mental resilience and mental fortitude and mental health. And like, I've done the therapy, I've done the rehab, and these things really work magic. But at the same time, it's like, these therapists are going to try to prescribe you medicine that's not even natural. And they're going to put you through some things that, yeah, it's like you learn that in the book, but you're dealing with your demons. So I can't take everything you say completely. I got to take it with a grain of salt. So I had to go back to nature. Like, we're human beings. We're an amazing machine. And I just had to take that machine, put it in drive, and just go. So these challenges are really that's the purpose behind it.
Okay. And now you moved on to running. I remember back in the fall, we were doing 100K. We did 100K a month back in August. We did that.
Oh yeah, the 100K challenge.
100K challenge, and we kept up with that for sure. Now you're jumping into this, and I see other people are jumping on it as well. Which definitely demonstrates something. It demonstrates that when you decide, all right, guys, I'm going to be doing this for a period of time, people jump on because they need something that they can follow along with.
100%.
Especially when they see somebody that they can kind of resonate with, and they go, yeah, I mean, me and Jay, I see how we get on the same level. People just need something that they can be driven by. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things I was talking to,
I do.
I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I was saying, it's amazing how when you put yourself in a position to have to run with people who are faster than you, or push with people who are stronger than you, or pull with people who are more powerful than you, it's not because it's going to keep you down. It's actually going to help you to pick yourself up, because you are actually going to now see that you have the potential to compete with these guys. And I was telling him the story of when I was in high school, I used to run track, and my coach asked me one time, I ran in the heat, and I was running against, I was in this age group of these guys who are like elite sprinters, like their track wind speed time was like 10-2, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm there going, I'm not trying to have any part of these guys. And I decided I'm going to run the slower heat. So I ran the slower heat. I won the slower heat. And my coach said to me, why'd you run the slower heat? And I said, well, I'm not trying to lose. And he said, how can you be stronger and faster if you don't run with people who are stronger and faster than you? So when you put yourself in a position where you're like, all right, Jay's out here, he's doing the squat challenge. Okay, maybe I can't do the same weight as him, but I'm going to do the same number of reps. I'm going to have the same amount of endurance. Okay, he's doing it for, as many as he can do in 7 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Like you test yourself to see what you can do. And
but you see, I'm going to cut you right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you see the issue with, we fall into comparing ourselves, and social media makes us do that. So that's why sometimes if you watch my runs, one day I'll do 3K and I'll do that for 6 days straight. And today I did 2.7. It's all about consistency. It's not about the weight. It's not about how fast. It's about committing to something, committing and showing up for yourself for 30 days. That's like the number one on my top 10 self-care list. That's the number one. Show up for yourself. So I'm really trying to show people like, yo, you know what? Don't try to go faster than the next man, because you don't know what he's run, what's in the back of his mind when he's running. Don't try to jump higher than the next man. Just, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I gotta delete the app, bro, because even myself, I'll find myself comparing because someone else that's running ran the same distance, a faster pace, and then I'll start questioning myself, like, yo, I'm not strong enough. But that doesn't matter, right?
But you hit the nail on the head. You said consistency is the key, and
that's what it is.
Even if we're talking about running, I'm talking to my a friend of mine he does trail runs and like endurance runs, whatnot. And I remember I was putting out like, I'm running, doing this, whatever. And he said to me, listen, you need to run in zone 2, get your heart rate to a certain point where you can like,
you need to run in zone 2.
You get your heart rate to a certain point where you're able to run. You can run for a longer period of time without wearing your body out. He goes, because the truth of the matter is running wears you down. if you do it to a period where you're not being smart about how you treat your body. So like you're doing short runs but consistent. That's better than doing 30K a week, like twice a week. You know what I'm saying? Like it wears down on your body. And what he was saying was you have to put ego all the way outside.
100%. I totally agree.
Ego's got to be outside the door. He's like, when you're running in zone 2, you're literally running at a pace of like, let's say 8. And he goes, you have to be okay with running at 8. Who cares what people are running at? If you got to run at 8, you run at 8. And I was like, wow. But it's hard. Like you said, it's hard because you go, yeah, but this person's they're running like a 4-point-something kilometer. Like, that's crazy. But he's like, it doesn't matter.
Human nature.
It's human nature.
It's human nature that we do this. Because even the people we look up to, Kevin Hart, Nipsey Hussle, everybody goes through it. They go through these emotions. The beautiful thing is that, like myself, like yourself, we can catch ourselves and be like, nah, it's about what I can do, and that's all that matters. Tunnel vision.
Right.
But unfortunately, sometimes social media and like all these things that are out there, it takes that away from people. And sometimes it takes, even for us, it could take us away from that for too long, and that's where we lose sight of who we really are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
like I told you, sometimes I gotta do something like, what's really going on now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mentioned before, we talked about a bit, you took some time off, you disconnected for a minute because you weren't on for like a while.
Yeah, like a month.
In that span of time, what did you learn about yourself?
I learned that living in the moment is the most important thing, especially having my daughter, bro. It's like I got to catch every moment instead of trying to like get it on my camera and show the world what's going on. Like I got to really interact with my girl. I got to really interact with her family, interact with my family, interact with my friends. Like I've learned that I was stuck in the grind. I was stuck chasing this materialistic idea of success when I'm already successful, right? I got a beautiful girlfriend that loves my daughter. That's an amazing stepmom. I got amazing in-laws. Like everything is just beautiful around me. But because like I failed to see that for years, because if it wasn't for COVID knocking at the door, then I'd still be stuck in this grind. And to everybody, it's like, second gym, third gym, fourth gym, brand partnerships, this, that. But was I happy? I can tell you I had to disconnect because I was not happy. During that month, I invested over 2,000, 3,000 in therapy easily. We're talking like $170 an hour to $220 an hour for therapy, bro. Like just to really get to understand. I got to learn about self-care and really dealing with your major issues. Like my big issue is self-esteem. And that comes from the trauma as a kid and everything that now I'm at peace with, and I'm still working on it, but I'm in a better place than when I disconnected, right? But if I would have stayed locked into social media and locked into what everybody's portraying as happiness and as success, then I wouldn't be even able to speak to you how I'm speaking right now, right?
True.
So, and at the same time, I tapped into new hobbies, like I said, like photography and like just really like even journaling, bro. Like just writing your feelings and actually seeing your thoughts on paper instead of just letting the hamster run and like it's just going left and right and anxiety kicks in, right? So it's like I really got to learn about self-care, and I'm still learning. It's like running, like training. We get better every day. We get better every week, right?
Right. That's good. Listen, man, those are big steps to make, especially when it can be difficult for us because we know, when you know you're a resilient person, you know that you've endured a lot. You're like, yeah, I've experienced a lot. I got tough skin. I got thick skin and stuff. But even thick skin, you still got to be able to say, I need time to kind of separate to recognize what other things are underlying that I got to deal with. And the fact that you and other two people as well who have taken time to really do that is remarkable, because it shows that you can operate at two different speeds and still be a consistent guy, in the sense of you could be that guy who's like, yo, I'm out here, I'm going, but also be the guy that's like, nah, I'm out here, I'm chilling too. I have a family. I'm trying to take care of my daughter. I have responsibility. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have, things I'm just trying to figure out for myself. I'm trying to journal and stuff. It shows you can be at two different paces. That's the balance. And that's the balance that a lot of people are missing. And I think that this whole scenario put people in the position of, yo, I got to be balanced, because if I don't, I'm gonna be stuck.
100%, bro.
I'm gonna be stuck. You know, it sucks to see people unbalanced and they're still unbalanced. They're still thinking like that. But it's like a year has passed now. Where are you still, like, where are you at? And it's a learning process for sure. It's gonna take time. Some people have things ingrained in them for years and years and years. I totally understand. No hate, no disrespect against that. But like, at what point are you gonna take the time to kind of go, okay, I really should tackle this and figure this out? Because it's a lot. The hardest thing for me to see people do is to walk with a bad posture, because everything, the weight of the world is weighing them down, and just see it. It's hard.
But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it's like drugs, right? It's like someone takes a line of coke, they're always chasing that high, right?
True.
Someone smokes a blunt, they're always chasing that high, they're chasing that. So it's the same thing. Like, when negative space, there's comfort there. There's something that, like, okay, true. And that's why they never get out that negative cycle.
True.
You know what I mean? And some people are just blessed with self-awareness. Like, I always thank God. I'm like, yo, I'm pretty self-aware. I fucked up a lot of times. Sometimes I come off on social media and I'm aggressive and I'm angry, and it's like, but at least I'm self-aware and I could just scale back and be. And that's the whole principle behind, like, tapping out sometimes and just disappearing for a month. It's like, yo, can I just see what's going on and see where I need to go better, or, you know, like, tweak things? And some people just stay stuck in that comfort zone. You know, it's uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable getting off, and like, I felt like I'm letting go of the business and I'm not promoting this thing. I saw my followers go down, everything, and it's like, but then at the same time, I'm like, yo, this is not healthy. This is not life. So at the same time, like, it's a question of self-awareness, and people, like, I wish I had the recipe for people to discover that tool, because we all have it. We're all the same. We're all divine beings. Like, we all have that strength, bro. Like, but it's like, I don't know. It's a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise, in a sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's awesome. Amazing to hear that, you know, you're on this path, you're on this journey. You've been on a path and journey for a minute, but like, the fact that you're out here and you're really making something out of it, and it's taking you to different areas. What things have you changed, like, not over just the past year, but even just in your pause time? Like, what things have you changed, and now that you actively do differently, other than, like, you've gone to therapy, you've done journaling, you tapped into different skills of yours? What things do you now do as part of your routine that's like, okay, I've added this and this has been helping me?
Yo, honestly, and it hasn't been that long, but tapping in with family, like my actual blood. You know what I mean? Like, I got 3 beautiful sisters. I got my mom, my dad. My dad and my mom, I held a lot of resentment for a long time. And like, just recently, I'm trying to, like, just make that phone call. Ask them how they're doing, despite however I feel. It's like, I'm trying to be the bigger person, and I think that's very important in my routine. Like, when I pick up my daughter, in the east end of the city, and my 2 sisters live in the east end. Actually, my 3 sisters live in the east end. One that I'm actually going on my first date with, for like family date, since I haven't seen her in, like, I would say, like 7+ years, bro. Easy.
Wow.
And it's just really tapping in with family and just understanding that despite whatever happened, despite our differences, human connection, especially with COVID, human connection, especially with your blood, and being the bigger person is only going to set you free. And like, I'm not saying I'm all fixed up already. I still have these walls of resentment, and like, but the fact that I added to my routine to, like, actually call my dad and ask him how he's doing, despite the way he thinks and the way he sees things and the things he's done, it actually brings me more happiness and more joy. So I'm able to be stronger. I'm able to be more resilient, and it just gives more to my grind, gives more to my hustle. So I would say tapping in with family, bro, despite anything, because no one has a perfect family. If someone could come in on the comments or whatever, no one has a perfect family. And I think it's a balls to be able to, like, really check in with the people that you've always felt did you wrong. So I think that's something to add to your routine, like, that really helped me, right? Through this whole thing.
That is that's huge, man. You know, there's a verse in a Royce the 5'9" song. He says, letting somebody live in your holding a grudge is like letting somebody live in your head rent free.
Ooh.
And at some point you got to evict them. But it makes sense. It makes sense.
Oh,
think
bro.
About it. Think about it. Think about it, though. Think about it. It makes sense. When you think about how angry you are towards somebody, they're still sleeping at night. That's why I have no zero resentment, anger, frustration towards anybody. People can wrong me and I'm like, it's cool, whatever. Because I see it as hey, they're a human. And not to just like dumb it down to that, but at the same time, you have to understand human beings are going to do human being stuff. And when they do human being stuff, can you really get mad and be angry forever? No, I know people who have held grudges for years and they're still carrying that pain today. And I'm like, why don't you just let it go? Because it's unresolved to them. And it's like, why? So the fact that you can go, you know what? I feel this way towards, I've had issues with my family, challenge, whatever, but I'm going to go out of my way to make sure I hit them up because at the end of the day, they're my family. Like that to me is a big step in anyone's life, in anyone's well-being, especially in your mental well-being, to be able to say, I'm willing to put this aside to be able to check in with this person to make sure that they're good. That's awesome, man. Like,
thank you, brother.
That's heavy duty, man. And but it's admirable because it definitely demonstrates your maturity. I told you this before. I watched you go from like the dude who does no shirt videos all day to like now you have a responsibility and obligation because you have a child, you're trying to raise her in the right way, and you're taking on different responsibilities, but you took time to figure out yourself and you're still doing it and you're willing to admit, yeah, man, I don't have it all solved. I don't have it all figured out. But at the end of the day, I'm trying. And you're trying something, and that's definitely exemplary to other people. So what you have next on the docket? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen still with these studio situation, whatever, but anything you got coming up down the pipeline you want to shout out, like let people know about?
Yo, I need to shout out Everlast Canada. They just I just got a brand partnership with them, so it's a growing business partnership that I'm really looking for. There's a lot of like great boxers on that team from Canada that I'm connecting with, and yeah, you guys are gonna see a lot of things with Everlast Canada. And me and Kadeem are just really revamping the West Island location, waiting on the Lachine location to open up because Soccerplex are dealing with their own things that have nothing to do with us. Unfortunately, that situation is out of our control, but we're just crossing our fingers that they don't sell the place or anything. So whatever, we got a lot of good things coming, and studios. I'm pretty sure we're gonna open up really soon. The orange zone or whatever, all the outskirts of Quebec gyms are open right now, so that's a good sign. And we're actually we finally that was one of my biggest things is adapting to the reality of the fitness industry. It's a virtual game as well, and there's a lot to be done on the virtual game.
Right.
I think that was my biggest boulder really locked up around my ankle that was just heavy to drag because I didn't want to accept that I had to transfer my business, transfer my energy, build a community online, right? So we finally accepted that, me and my partner Kadeem, and we're coming with the Zoom. We're coming with a mental health aspect to Zoom as well, and I'm just trying to put up more boxing content, more mobility content, quick home workouts for everyone just for free on my page, and we're just adapting. So besides that, we're just keeping it 100, staying 10 toes down, and tunnel vision, baby.
That's it. It is tunnel vision 2021. That's how we're gonna keep things going for the remainder of the year. I mean, the year's still early. We're only in February. We still got a lot of time. So definitely we're gonna continue to keep up with your progress and your accolades and stuff and everything you're accomplishing there. Everlast Canada, they sent me a box of stuff. I was like, yo, thanks. This is dope, man. They sent me
I saw that.
A slam ball and a rope and things. I'm like, okay, I did a little video for them and that was cool. So appreciate them. Shout out to Everlast Canada as well. But it's great to see that you are taking things by the horns and just working with it and maneuvering it and not letting it maneuver you, able to overcome these things that you've been facing and really progressing through and really pushing the mental health aspect of it, because I think a lot of people don't realize just how serious of a thing this is, how much it affects people on a major way. So I've always encouraged people and said, listen, if you ever want to reach out and have a conversation, let's do it. The same thing I encourage for you to do as well. If you ever want to reach out to me, have a conversation, let's do it. Vice versa, whatnot. Even if we make it a thing where we get people in a conversation and make things happen like that, I think that's just another way that we can really get the community involved and get people engaged in different ways to keep them abreast to what's happening, and also just to be aware of the fact that we are in control of certain things. There's some things we can't control, but a lot of things we still can. and we're gonna make the most of it the best we can. I know you're doing your thing as well, so mean it sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I love seeing your progress and your growth. I love seeing the progress and growth of everybody, but because I know where you've come from and the stuff that you've experienced, it's for you to overcome that, and you have to deal with naysayers all the time. We all have to deal with naysayers, of course, but it seems like you're not letting that phase you right now, which is amazing. That shows definitely growth and progression. So continue to do that, my guy. Keep going strong. You can catch John Paul on IG. He does delete his app sometimes, so if you do send him a DM and he doesn't answer, don't be mad. It's because he's got to stay disconnected sometimes. He's got a beautiful daughter. If you get a chance to check her out, Summer. She's out here doing her thing, little smirks. But continue to watch his progress. You can find him on Instagram. Definitely, I'm gonna have his Instagram tag, the Southwest Bully, in the description of this episode as well. This episode comes to you live using the StreamYard application, guys, but this episode will also be available on Apple, which is iTunes, Spotify, as well as on Anchor, and the video will be available on YouTube. The preview video will also be available on Instagram under the Hustlers Journal Pod, as well as under goodfit_fitness, guys. Make sure you check it out, show some love, show some support. Thank you very much, my guy Jay, for checking in, for allowing me to check in with you to make sure everything is cool. Go back to cooking your vegetables because you got a busy day tomorrow, I'm sure. And make sure that you lace your shoes up tight, because just in case it gets slippery, be careful.
Thank you so much.
It could be a dangerous one, guys. It's your boy Coach K signing out. My guy Jay, John Paul. Let's get it done, guys. Peace out. Enjoy. Take care.
God bless.